How's it going, guys? So today we're me talking about some fucking stupid article that I found by Game Rant. Now, Game Rant isn't always, the greatest fucking source for, video game news or whatever, but they get the job done. But this article that they just came out with, it's to say the least, it's fucking stupid. It makes me want to shoot rainbows out of my ass and help me fly to the moon because of it. That's how stupid it is. The title of this article is 10 game characters that didn't age very well. Now, from the beginning of that, you'd be like, okay, yeah, some characters, they might have aged well. Some villains, you might look back and be like, that storyline was fucking ridiculous. Or, maybe a character, one sort of backstory thing, you're like, well, that was fucking stupid. Like, when you think back on it. But there's probably, characters out there that didn't age well. But no, in this article, nah. Everything is racist. Everything is sexist. That's all there is to it. It's fucking ridiculous. You're basing off shit from games that are like fucking maybe almost 20 years old at this point. There are some pretty old games that it's taken, off of. And there's some pretty big, franchises that are on here. And it's fucking stupid. Like, you're focusing on the past. Stop it. If you want to make change, go make change. But stop focusing on, these stupid fucking characters that have nothing to do with stuff in real life. Yes, I know there's a whole big political thing on, racism and all this. I don't want to get into it. And I know this is it's a really big topic right now. But the way this article does it, it's just fucking ridiculous. And it's stupid. So let's get into this. All right, so from number 1, this is fucking stupid. From number 1, well, not number 1, but number 10 in this case, Jynx from Pokémon. This one's been fairly well publicized, but in developer Game Freak's defense, measures have long since been taken to rectify this issue. While they can fix their mistake, however, they can't undo it. The original design for the psychic ice Pokemon Jynx was heavily criticized for her jet black skin, huge lips, and bulging eyes, which many were quick to liken to features commonly associated with blackface. I mean, when you describe it like that, all you really sound like is if you're describing Nicki Minaj. Like, seriously, when you look at these two pictures, tell me the difference. Tell me the difference. Because personally, I don't think they freaking, there is no difference. There is no difference. Fuck the Simpsons for predicting the future. It's the fucking Pokemon who's predicting the future. But on, of course, a more serious note, I don't know how the fuck you're predicting, blackface. What do you mean it's blackface? There are many Pokemon characters who are just, they just have black faces. There's Ghastly, he just doesn't have a face. There was that one fucking Pokemon that it's like the giant clam thing, but it just has a Ghastly in the center of it. Is that blackface? No. So so what you're telling me is you just can't have a dark face you can't just have a mysterious, black face. Because to me, when you look at Jynx, it looks like the hair is covering up the face, so the face is actually sunken into the back. So it makes it look mysterious. That's the whole thing. It just makes it look mysterious. Unless, of course, Jynx does actually have a face, and that's what Jynx's face looks like. But at that point, who gives a fuck? It's a Pokemon. Now, number 9 is Tom Johnson from Shenmue, or Shenmue. I have no idea. I've never played the game. With the possible exception of Mark, none of the Westerners found in the first Shenmue game are portrayed in a very flattering light. They're thugs, they're drunks, and they're gang members. Then there's Tom, who many people saw as a walking caricature of an African American. These people would be wrong, however. It's not that Tom's character isn't problematic. It's just that Tom doesn't actually walk anywhere. He dances continuously. Have we seriously gotten to the lowest point of society that a character can't even fucking dance anymore without, people bitching about it? Like, seriously. Oh, he dances everywhere, continuously. Who gives a fuck? Let the man dance. Tom can usually be found two-stepping to the beat of the music in front of his hot dog truck. Then, in itself, needn't really be an issue. But when his shift is over and it's time to go home, he continues to dance his way around Yokozuka, even without the music. Combine this with his Jamaican accent, though he's from New York, and his girlfriend named Honey, and you have a character that's dancing precariously along the line between what is and what isn't acceptable. Now, first off, I want to say that fucking dance joke on the line of what is and isn't acceptable is really fucking shit. Now, let's get to the good part. What the fuck does this have to do with anything? So, first off, he can't dance. He's not allowed to dance. So Tom, even though he dances, and that's his character, he dances a lot. He likes music. He can't dance around, Maybe he has headphones in. How the fuck do you know? I don't know. I don't play the game. But who the fuck knows? Maybe you could just imagine he has headphones in and he's dancing along to the headphones. What? So if you had a person in a video game just dancing along, to something, they were listening like fucking Metallica or some shit, but you can't see the headphones. That's like, oh, that's not okay. That's not okay. No, who gives a fuck? Who cares if he's from New York and has a Jamaican accent? You never know. If the character's lore, the lore of Tom, he could have a fucking Jamaican mother and a Jamaican father. Maybe he's originally from Jamaica but moved to New York. And then he moved to fucking Yakuzuka. Who the fuck knows? And who cares if his girlfriend is named Honey? Like, you probably don't even have a girlfriend yourself, whoever the fuck wrote this, because you don't call your girlfriend Honey. Like, yeah, you might call your girlfriend Babe or whatever, but I hear people all the time go, honey, can you grab me this? Honey, can you grab me that? Like, who the fuck cares? Name whatever your girlfriend, whatever the fuck you want. This is totally stupid. The fucking notion that this is morally wrong or whatever is fucking stupid. Oh my god, I can't believe I'm fucking reading this. Number 8 is Lara Croft from Tomb Raider. It's always great to see developers making an effort to provide equal and fair representation in video games. For this reason, 1996 Tomb Raider should have been a cause for celebration. After all that time, it was incredibly rare to find a big-budget game with a female protagonist. Unfortunately, Lara's original design wasn't much to celebrate. Her original design was not about empowering women and making them feel as though they had a place in gaming. It was about attracting young men and boys with a protagonist whose defining characteristic was her little hourglass figure, in particular, the top half. Thankfully, Lara's curves have evened out a little more over time, and in her current iteration, she's certainly a character worth celebrating. The team at Crystal Dynamics deserve a lot of credit for that. Okay, let me get this straight. So you're telling me that Lara's character has not been that good over time because she has big tits? That is your reason that Lara Croft has not developed good as a character over time, is because she's a hot woman. That's the reason. That is because she has big tits and she's a hot woman? Oh my fucking god. Oh my fucking god, bro. Alright, let me get this straight. So in 1996, this is what the people wanted. They want to look at a fucking triangle, fucking Porygon Pokemon looking thing, something that just walks right out of a fucking high school geometry class. That's what they wanted to look at. They were like, yes, gotta bust a nut to that fucking triangle fucking point. Like, that's what people were fapping to back then. The fucking pointy ass fucking, I don't know. Okay, let me get this straight, guys. Would you rather have this? Or would you rather have this? Would you rather have this? Or would you rather have this? Tell me in the comments below. Now, number 7 is Gay Tony from Grand Theft Auto. Now, I already know what the fuck they're going to be bitching and moaning and complaining about in this. Oh my god, he's gay as his first name. I don't know. Oh, you can't have gay as your first name. I can name whatever the fuck my characters I want. If I want to have a character named Penis Head Mark, then I'ma fucking do it. If I want Foreskin Trevor, I'ma fucking do it. If I want Vagina Crusher Tommy, then I can fucking do it. I don't give a shit. In number 6, we have Wang from Shadow Warrior. There's sometimes a very fine line between edginess and racism. Most tend to steer clear of it altogether to avoid causing unnecessary offense. Whoever designed Shadow Warrior's Wang felt quite firmly on the wrong side. That he's a Chinese man playing the part of a Japanese samurai is perhaps excusable. Well, what's not excusable, however, are the things that come out of this character's mouth, nor his offensively insensitive broken English. Okay, shut the fuck up right there. If he's a Chinese man, he probably doesn't know that much English to begin with. I don't know what it's like over there in China. I think they're supposed to learn, English and stuff like that. But I don't, he may not know English very well, so that's why it's broken up. If I go to a fucking Chinese restaurant, I don't expect Well, if you go to some sort of like Chinese restaurant in, Chinatown or whatever, you don't really go in to expect, hi, what are you ordering? It's Chinese food, what you order? That's normally what I expect to hear, or something along the lines of that. Or something like, what you order? Or something like that. I don't expect it going into like Chinatown or whatever to be 100% pure English. Sometimes is it? Yeah, and of course. But I don't always expect it, so it doesn't really matter. In number 5, we have Oil Man from Megaman. Unlike many Western countries, the attitude towards blackface in Japan can sometimes be a little more relaxed. This might explain then how Oil Man came to be, first appearing as one of these 2 new bosses out of the 2006 PSP remake of the original Mega Man game, titled Mega Man Powered Up. Oil Man is one of the most visually offensive characters in gaming. Okay, I don't understand why he's so offensive. Is it because the character is black? Okay, guys, riddle me this. What color is oil? If you guessed black, you're fucking wrong. It's purple. What the fuck do you mean? Nah, I'm kidding. Oil, the color of oil is black. Most oil, if I'm thinking correctly, oil is black. So having a black character named Oil Man is not offensive. This game rant, you just fucked up completely. Oil is black. And if you're going to have a character named Oil Man, he's going to be black. Not like African American, but his color is going to be black. Because he's oil. In number 4, we have Letitita from Deus Ex Human Revolution. If I said her name wrong, I'm sorry. Letitita is a character written straight out of the Book of Stereotypes. As a result, anybody wanting to see a textbook example of the offensive, sassy black woman trope need to look no further than Deus Ex Human Revolution. Some might try to defend this character by pointing out that black women with these mannerisms do exist, but whether or not this is true, it misses the point of the criticism entirely. For example, that conforms to a stereotype, for every person that conforms to a stereotype, there are hundreds and thousands of people who don't. When a developer chooses to portray one of their game's only black characters in this way, they do both themselves and their players a massive disservice. People don't understand that stereotypes exist because you're meant to laugh at stereotypes. There are American stereotypes that we eat, McDonald's every single day, 24/7, and that's why we're so fat. Honestly, it's kind of true, and we laugh at it, Americans are seen as, wearing fucking cowboy boots and riding horses and shit everywhere. I mean, it's pretty true, to be honest. If you're from fucking Montana or some shit, then, yeah, of course, then it's true. But you're meant to laugh at these stereotypes. Like, you're meant to laugh at, the sassy black woman stereotype. I honestly think that stereotype is really funny because they can have, really good characters and stuff like that. And you can make them seem they're a sassy black woman, but you can also give them a backstory of, they only are sassy because of something that happened in their life. I don't know, but it doesn't fucking matter. You're just meant to laugh at that stereotype. That's why stereotypes exist. At number 3, we have Dhalsim from Street Fighter. Dhalsim is a skinny Indian man with flexible limbs and a necklace made of shrunken skulls, has no right to serve as the game's sole representation of Indian people. It demonstrated not only a lack of understanding of Indian culture, but also a distinct lack of empathy for those people that it carelessly caricatures. If much of the potentially offensive content found in video games of that era, it seems unlikely that there was any malicious intent behind Dhalsim's design, but lack of intent doesn't always excuse offensiveness. It's probably because the creators of the game just didn't give a shit whatsoever. They probably really didn't care. It's because they went, all right, let's do a bunch of stereotypes and stuff, and, that they'll be our fighters. Like, I'm fairly sure in the game they got, Spanish people, or it was Street Fighter, I'm pretty sure. The representation of Spanish people, like, from Spain are, spandex wearing people, blondes with claws. Like, that's their representation. Like, it doesn't really fucking matter at the end of the day. It's just a fucking video game character. At number 2, we have Poison from Final Fight. When designing 1989's Final Fight, developers wanted to include a sexy female character to appeal to a male audience. Unfortunately, they also had concerns regarding how a Western audience might react to beating up a woman in a video game. Their solution: make poison a new half, the Japanese word for someone who is non-binary. That designers therefore felt it was acceptable to let players beat up on non-binary individuals certainly has potential to cause offense. Worse still, the character would later go on to be redesigned as transgender, which could only be seen as equally problematic. The localization team seemed to agree with this point of view in the North American release of early Final Fight games. Poison and her palette swap Roxy were replaced with 2 male characters. Who cares if they're fucking non-binary or fucking transgender? Like, who cares at the end of the day in a fucking fighting game? The whole point of the game is to fight. So if you're so pissy about, oh my god, they're beating up non-binary people in Final Fight, the fighting game, or they're beating up transgender people in the fighting game. Well, guess what? How many straight male characters are also being beaten up in that fighting game? How many straight female characters are being beaten up in that fighting game? Well, guess what? If you want to have such inclusion for, LGBTQ, women, all this stuff, well, then you're going to have to expect inclusion in fighting games. Oh, but we can't have them being beaten up and shit. It's a fighting game. That's the whole fucking point of the game. And now coming in as our reigning champ, round number 1, heavyweight fighter of the year, most offensive character in video games, Kung Pao from Clay Fighter 63 and a third. Would you like soy sauce with that? Yes, I would. And egg foo too? Yes, I would. Are just 2 of the incredibly racist lines spoken by Clay Fighter's Kung Pao. With a moveset named after Chinese food and an overly exaggerated buck tooth hanging ignorantly out of the front of his mouth, this character in the game which he's featured in are all about but guaranteed to cause offense to any right-minded person who plays it. I'm going to say the same thing that I said earlier. It's a fucking stereotype. That's all it is. You're meant to laugh. You're meant to joke about it because it's a stereotype. No matter how offensive a stereotype may be, it's meant to be a joke. That's why we have stereotypes. It's so we can joke at ourselves. We can laugh at ourselves. We can go, yeah, that's pretty stupid. People always talk crap about America and be like, oh, Americans and their non-free healthcare, stupid Americans. Why don't you get your free healthcare already? And then, we like to joke about British people's teeth because it looks like it's the inside of a fucking donkey's mouth. It looks like they just came out of just getting butt-fucked by a donkey at the same time. That's what it looks like to me. That's what British people look like with their teeth. But you know what? We can laugh at that. And yeah, it's offensive, but who cares? We are meant to laugh at it because it's funny. Now, this fucking list, I feel like I just lost several brain cells because of reading this list and how incredibly ridiculous this list really was. And I want you to drop your comments drop your opinions on some of the stuff that was in this and tell me what you think about it. So I think that'll be it for me, guys. Thank you all for watching. If you liked it, make sure you go down and like and subscribe. Follow me on my social medias and stuff in the description below. Give me your thoughts and opinions in the comments below as well. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.